So we're here with manager Ed Jackson-Norris at the end of our first league win of the season. Ed, it was a difficult game to summarise, I think. You can do that for me.
Yeah, I was wondering how you were going to summarise it, what you're going to come out with then. I mean, at the end of the day, like the big thing today is we've got the 3 points. It was a thoroughly deserved 3 points. I think our performance definitely warranted it. Fair play to their manager who's come and acknowledged that we had the majority of the game, if not the whole game today. So that sort of shows where our performance level was. But in typical Maidenhead fashion, we made it a lot more difficult than we probably needed to. Game should have been dead in the first 20-25 minutes. Loads of really good approach play, loads of good final third entries and some high quality moments in and around the box. Only had the one goal, and obviously when your lead's only one goal, you leave the door open for the opposition to create moments to get themselves back into it, and they had one of those. They didn't have many today, but the ones they did create certainly gave us a few nervy moments and managed to equalise before half time. It's a case of getting in, reaffirming standards, speaking about how we were going to get ourselves back in control for the second half, and I think the girls did that.
I think we've got to give both teams credit as well. The heat today, we measured it at 28 degrees at one point at the start of the second half. And there looked to be some tired legs out there, but you've got to give credit to the resilience of the opposition as well, who kept going to the end. But you know, our guys as well. At one point, perhaps as time was drifting away, looks like we might have to settle for maybe a frustrating point. But to keep going, keep having that patience, you said. Sometimes moves broke down a bit, but you've got to be really pleased with that resilience they've shown.
Yeah, I mean, first, definitely a bit of some credit to Bournemouth Sport. Obviously, they're new to the division. It's the first time ever at this level. And fair play to them. You can tell they've set up to try and frustrate teams. They're really well organised. They work incredibly hard. And it's one of the reasons why their games so far this season have been really low scoring. Like Portishead was a 0-0 draw with them. Swindon were only able to beat them 1-0. And all right, we could have scored a lot more today, but we've only managed to beat them by the one goal, and it's because they work really hard. So fair play to them, and if they stick at it and keep showing the sort of spirit they've clearly shown the first few games, I think they'll be fine this year. For us, really pleased with the level of resilience that we've had. Had to show a bit of character and a bit of grit on Thursday night to dig in and deal with the game being like a bit of a basketball game and a bit open and like momentum shifting all the time, and then having to show a bit of resilience to dig in and finish the game with 10 players. Today was a little bit different. It was more grit and resilience in the sense of being patient and not getting too frustrated and looking to force things towards the back end of the game. But I disagree with you in saying that, you know, it was one of the games where, you know, you're potentially looking at accepting that we're going to have only drawn the game and that's all we're going to take from it. Because I think with this group and the mindset that this slot can show, we keep going, and the number of late goals that we managed to get in games where we come from behind last season, and I think that's been epitomised again today, having to dig in, keep going until the end. We knew we might have to win it late, and we spoke about how the game might go to injury time to be able to win the game, and they've shown the patience and the resilience to be able to dig in and just keep going.
Yeah, good point, well made there. So from Bournemouth Sports to AFC Bournemouth next week. It's great that we've got the first 3 point haul of the season, but it doesn't get tougher than Bournemouth next week. But we can look forward to it now with a good 3 points in the bag today. What's the plan for the week?
Yeah, I mean, we can look forward to it. Buzzing. Two wins this week, so that's really positive. Plan for this week is just do what we do at training, go through our principles, try and prep in the best way that we can for Bournemouth. And Bournemouth's a free hit. It's not a game for us to be nervous about. Forget that. It's a game where we can be really excited. Like, the pressure's all going to be on them. They lost in midweek to Moneyfields. Obviously, they kick off a little bit later, so we don't know how they're going to get on against Moneyfields today. But they know that they're going to be pushed all the way by Moneyfields and potentially Worthing. So they know they can't afford to drop points, especially against sides who typically aren't in and around the top of the table like ourselves. So pressure's going to be all on them, and we're going to try and come up with a game plan to see if we can make them as nervous as possible next week.
Look forward to that, Ed. Let's enjoy this week first, though. We'll see you again next Sunday.
Cool. See you then.